up, y'all? And welcome to another episode of Mommy.
Make sure to follow our podcast, Mommy Needs a Break, at NNAB Podcasts. And if you're a Patreon, you get free access to, or early access, to our content. So make sure to subscribe for like $3, $5, $10, $20, whatever. Help us out. Right.
All right, today we've got a lot of stuff. We're talking about drugging your children with chamomile. We're talking about sports teams that are no longer playing. And we have something fun today. We got a little bit of trivia going on. But first, before we get to really good intro, Pat.
She's really good at intros. Usually.
See, I have a good intro.
You had a whole table of contents.
I do. Okay, Pat, are you ready? For your intro, for your fabulous intro? Okay, here we go. Make songs, he can play the piano, he's on-air talent, and he's a head of content at Alldef, and he's for Patrick Cloud.
Hey, thank you. That was a good intro. You're right. You were right.
That. You gotta have faith in me. You know me better than that.
I should have just hung in there. Thanks for having me, you guys. I am a very unexpected guest.
I know, because you're not a father or a mother, are you?
I'm not a new mom. Yeah, that's true.
No, so it's really funny because Pat and I have worked together, Marisa, for like, 4 years now? I think like 4 years.
5.
At I think, 2016. So yeah, 4 years at Alldef. And like Pat has always been just a free spirit. You see how he looks, right? He's just, you can't see it, Pat. You don't look like a dude that works a 9 to 5, like clocks in and clocks out every day. Okay. You don't have that vibe.
Okay. That's cool. I like that.
Wait, so how is
it? That could also mean you look homeless, though.
Which you do a lot of times. You do be looking homeless. You need
every time I see someone that like looks homeless but the shoes are clean, I'm like, oh, they must be rich. I always think that. Like I'll see someone, like I saw this guy eating watermelon outside of the coffee shop the last week, and he looked homeless, but his shoes were spotless. I was like, oh, he has money. I was like, he's just out here looking like this.
His Pat shoes look homeless too. He be wearing moccasins. I'm like, Pat,
my slides are pretty clean.
Wait, so how is it working with Megan? You have any secrets? Anything you could tell us?
No secrets. It's pretty much all out there, you know. How she treats us on cameras, how she treats us in post and pre-production.
I'm consistent.
But no, it's scary and necessary. And I think that's the best part, because it's funny. Like her superiors are also afraid of giving anything late or like bringing anything specific to Meg. So I remember we were working with Stan Lathan, and we were like, "You're a legend," and I don't know if Meg's gonna fly with that. We were like, "What?" So so I mean, it's dope just because people like me and Kev are all over the place. So it was it's definitely necessary for us.
Oh yeah, gotta have the whippersnapper.
No, but I'm curious. You guys like are so creative, but I realize why we all work together so well, even though like Pat and I are completely different. I feel like I do this stuff that Pat doesn't want to do, and it's like I'm not good at that. I don't want to do that. Like my lane is creativity, where I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, I ain't trying to look through these shows and give notes about like funny parts. Take this out, put these jokes together. I don't care nothing.
I feel like that's how me you are too. in a sense.
Yeah.
She's like, Marisa, I don't know if that looks good. I don't know. Just put it up. I'm like, no, it doesn't look good
No,
aesthetically.
you're the creative in our relationship, just like me and Pat. Pat's the creative. I don't care about how stuff look. I just need it done. Content, all that.
That's tight. I love that there's people like
That's
that.
hilarious. Okay, guys, before we get into all this craziness, this segment that we have is called Ain't No Shame. So it is our moment when we share shameful parenting situations and we don't judge each other, basically. So today, Megan has an Ain't No Shame. What is it, Megan?
Yes, ain't no shame in letting your toddler stay up till midnight.
Your audio.
What?
Because gambling, a little bit of gambling, a little bit of smoking, all the seedy stuff. No, so like I am a firm believer that children need like a schedule, right? They need some sort of schedule. You can veer off of it every now and then, no problem. But at least you have the outline for a schedule. Like they eat at this time, they go to bed at this time, whatever, right? So I'm okay with letting Mav like not do that sometimes. Lately, his schedule, he been going to bed all types of late. Not midnight late, but we did let him go to sleep super late on like Saturday because we were with family that he hasn't met. Mind you, his cousins were all asleep, but I was like,
It's weird that like staying up late isn't as like bad as it was when we were kids because it's like cable's kind of dead. So it's not like anything that, like when we stayed up late, Tip Drill might come on, you know what I mean? Or you might go to HBO and see something like that something a little bad, but like now everything is streaming. All that stuff is available at 3 p.m. So it's like staying up late besides the lack of sleep is not that, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal now.
But a toddler though, that I think is a little more like they need like 12 hours of sleep.
They'll sleep in.
That's impressive.
Right, they do. They need like between 12 to 14 hours of sleep a day.
I thought the thing with toddlers was that they were up early and then they were standing and staring at you while you were waking, like while you were sleeping.
That's my kid. That's actually my kid. My kid doesn't sleep at all.
Are you ever like, ugh?
I've caught her in my room like at 3:00 in the morning, sitting there watching her iPad next to my bed, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Was she ever like watching you? You ever like woke up and she was just?
Oh yeah, she's like kissed my mouth, and I thought it was like my husband, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, mommy, wake up!" My kid don't take naps. She goes to bed late. She wakes up at like 7 in the morning.
Halo was a renegade.
That was more what I was like envisioning.
Yeah, that's my kid.
So wait, is your kid older than Meg's?
By a year.
Oh yeah, Halo's 3 or about to be 3. Yeah,
Halo's when you're older than Mav, and then her brand new baby. Oh yeah, she has 2. Her brand new baby is what, 5 months?
She'll be 6 months today and yesterday. She turned 6 months yesterday. I don't even know.
Oh, she's 6 months old.
Meg, did you say Mav is 2 now?
He'll be 2 in like 2 months.
October. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is. Yeah, that's. I still see him as like almost 1.
I know. You remember when like we had my gender reveal at work? I mean, I already knew what we were having, but it was for everybody at work because nobody at work knew what I was having. Remember we went outside?
Oh no!
The little pop gun that was like poof to the blue smoke.
That's wild. That was pretty wild. That was
like the most fun gender reveal at my job ever. Like, because it was a bunch of, we work with a bunch of young people. So it was like, who's having a baby? Nobody, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it was kind of like,
I don't think Amy did that. Yeah, I remember when Amy had her kid at Alldef. Well, not at Alldef, obviously, but
that's like the first person that was pregnant, right? There was just we didn't have a culture of like pregnant people or people having kids because everybody's young.
Marisa, did you do a gender reveal?
For the first one, I feel like I can't remember anything.
Wait, you did a gender reveal?
Yeah, for Halo, I did. Terrell's stepmom took my envelope, and she went and got the cake done, and we had like all the family over. We live streamed it. It was all over the place. But for the second one, no, it was just like, just tell me what she is. I think Terrell left and went to work. Like it was.
Nobody cares about the second kid. That's the sad part. The more kids
no love. We had so many parties for Halo. I had like a gender reveal. I had 2 baby showers. I think I had a sprinkle. I had something with like, I had like 4 or 5 parties for the first one, and
You
then like,
did. You
and had
did.
like
I
a
went through
last
this
minute
curriculum.
shower for the second.
Right. You had everything. But I feel like that's what happens. Think about it, Pat. Think about your family. Like once you're the third out of 3, right? You're the baby.
No one gave a damn about my gender.
They care nothing about you, Pat. That's why you are the way you are. You was just allowed to flourish because then nobody cared.
Just bowl them into the house. We don't care. I always wondered, like, what would my gender reveal be? Like, if I were to have a kid, because you got to be creative, and the internet puts a lot of pressure on you.
So much
you know?
pressure.
I feel like I would plan like a terrorist attack on the baby shower, and like the lead guy would be about to kill like me or something, and I like shoot him, and like blue blood comes out.
So this is what your future baby mama has to look for. A possible death, a fake death at the baby shower.
Or I like run for office and it takes like a long time and I campaign and then I win and then I pledge Democrat and then people are like, what? And I'm like, I'm having a son, blue.
That is way too.
Wait, this creative brain is like,
You see how quick he does this?
right, like, wait, what?
Like that was the worst one ever. It took 4 years. The kid's been born.
Oh Lord. Ladies, watch out. That's what you gotta look forward to if he's your baby daddy. Down to all right, y'all, let's do some mommy tips. Well, we just give a couple of helpful things we learned along the way. Marisa, what you got?
I almost felt like this is the Ain't No Shame, but you did that one today. So Halo is active. Like I said, she doesn't sleep. She's a vegan. I feel like she has nothing weighing her life down. She's nonstop all day. So I had ordered some raw chamomile the other day. It's like the actual like flower. And I was like, what would happen if I put this in her milk in the evening? So I mixed it with, I brewed it and everything, let it sit, and I mixed it with her almond milk. I put a little agave in it to try to hide it. And she drank it, and I tell you, and I don't know if this is like legit because I only did it one time, but she came and sat on my lap and said, Mommy, I'm tired. And she just fell asleep. Like it was like 7:00. And Halo does not sleep ever. And I was like, oh my God, is this real? Is this real? So I don't know if you have a hyperactive child like mine who is just bored all day and just hyper, maybe try a little raw chamomile, slip it in their milk. I actually put in her cereal too.
What? She's just always sleepy now. Sleeping through life.
During the day, it calms her down a little bit, but at night, it knocked her out. I was like, shit.
This show is villainous.
I know.
But the chamomile is good for you. It's like it's a natural herb. Like it's not anything crazy, you know. And I made sure I got the raw version. It wasn't like
wait. What happens? What's good about the raw version?
It's not processed. It's just the leaf, and I let it brew a little longer than like a normal tea bag, you know. Yeah, it worked. She was asleep.
Does it work for you too? Like, does it?
Yeah, I take it after my baths. I drink a little bit, and I feel like it turns my brain off a little bit.
Oh, maybe I should do that instead of doing CBD with THC in it. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like a
God, Meg, turning up now in motherhood.
I know. I was like, wait, did you say that on air?
I mean, it's not illegal in Cali. It's just, motherhood. I tell you, I'll be having some anxious days. And I realized, let me get
After
this.
taking a nap, you start rolling it up. Okay.
No, I do the tincture. I do the oil that you put under your tongue.
Okay.
I do. I'm not a smoker. I can't smoke.
Look, Megan is coming out. She's coming out.
Watch when Mav starts drawing on the walls, full eye contact with you. You gonna upgrade. You gonna start doing some wine. It's gonna be sake.
Really sake? Oh, that's funny. All right, y'all. Let's scroll. This is the part of our show where you tell your family, you tell your kids you need to use the bathroom and take a break, but you're really just scrolling to get some you time. On my timeline,
that's like what?
That's a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all be like, I gotta go to the bathroom just to be like,
what?
Oh my
closet. Man.
Yes. I be making sure these bowels move hella slow Like,
Very
take
ill.
my time. All right, so what's on my timeline? So you guys have seen like last week that Jacob Blake, a black man in Kenosha, Wisconsin, was shot in the back 7 times by a police officer while his kids were in the car. So he's alive, thank God. He is paralyzed, but of course, people are protesting everywhere. And what's different this time around is I think a lot of the sports teams are getting involved. From the NBA to the WNBA, the MLB, soccer, even sports broadcasters are all just walking out. They're not playing their games, they're not doing their job, just to show solidarity for Jacob Blake, especially, just because there's been so much police brutality. So I want to ask you this. Do you think that this is the right step for athletes to take? Like, hey, I'm doing my part, I'm going to just walk out. Or should they be doing more? Should they be doing less? And then for how long? Because, like, y'all never going to play again? Or, like, what? Like, how long does this last? What do you think?
Pat, you can go. They always hear my voice.
Thank you. I mean, I like it just because it's like, you know, if these protests and all this wild stuff is happening and then there's an amazing game and LeBron drops 80 points, people's attention is definitely going to be split. So I do like how they're just like, yo, I believe it sucks that I forgot her name. I believe she's a tennis player. There's another black athlete. She's a woman. She just dropped out of her tournament for the same reason. She's just like, it's not the time for sports. Yes.
Oh, yeah, Osaka, yeah.
It's not the time for sports. It's not the time for people to watch me play. There's like a black genocide happening. So I like that. I like the idea if we can halt all that other stuff and focus on this, because now that there's like literally a child with an assault rifle or whatever type of gun that was, literally killing protesters, and the cops aren't doing anything, is just like, all right, like it's been too much, but this is just like it's just like, how could it get more ridiculous than this?
Right. Oh yeah, this is. I mean, it's no. I'm with you. I just feel like what is it going to take? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it going to take for people to finally say, you know what, you're right. Black people are being brutalized by police. This is not okay. Like, let's all step up. When is that going to happen? Now you don't have your favorite sports team taking your attention. What are you going to do? You going to join us, white people? Like, what?
Yeah. And I think, these protests have been happening since George Floyd. They haven't stopped. It's just they haven't been covered on the mainstream, and I think that at this point, if you look at the comments when an athlete makes a statement about Black lives, the amount of hate from white people that I read under these comments are so ridiculous. It's like they really expect you to just go out there and fucking dribble that ball, right?
Oh my gosh, I was like, no, but hold on, I want to say something about that, Marisa, because you are like, you posted something about that was like a Bleacher Report.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was about Kenny Smith, the sports broadcaster, was walking out. It was on Bleacher Report, and I clicked on it and I looked at the comments. Literally, there was only one person who was not black. He was like, "I am a white man and I stand in solidarity with my black brothers and sisters." Every other person that was on it that was white that commented was just like, "Who cares about this? Do your job. Like, worry about police brutality on your own time. This is your job. Like, just do your job. I have to do my job at work, and I can do all the protesting afterwards." I was just like, hate.
To me, it's like, if that's what they expect of you, then take your black ass home and let the white boys play. Like, let's see how exciting sports and entertainment becomes when white people just play basketball. White people just play football.
Weird about it, because it's like I almost grew up thinking that like even middle America was at least watching sports and being like, all right, these black guys are entertaining, so I'm not. But it's like, no, this is showing like, oh yeah, like they think it's just like a job. You know what I mean? They're doing what they do. They're entertaining me, and then go home. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear any protests. Right. It's just like it's crazy how many how you can keep peeling back racism, and you're like, I thought that was as worse as it gets. It's like, no, it's this and this and this. This is wild. It's kind of overwhelming. I don't like looking. I keep up to date with that, but I try not to do deep dives into a lot of these stories, because it's just like it can get to be too much.
At some point, I like reading the more. I mean, there's so much stuff to find out. It goes so deep historically, you know, for our people. But like the more you find out, I don't know whether to be more like I don't know if I can get any angrier. I don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? When you see that it's been systemic racism from the beginning, like like this has been set up for us to fail. It's the system has been set up for us to be shot at by police and no one cares about it. Like this is not new. So it's kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do at this point?
I told someone today, I was like, I feel like the more information that I educate myself, and I'm not talking about like the news, I'm talking about history, the less I'm afraid. Because it's like, I know what to expect. I know what they think. And it makes me less afraid because it's like, I'm prepared. I'm more prepared mentally now. You know, I'm not going in a room thinking like, oh, you like me. It's like, oh, you don't like me. Okay, cool. But that's how, I mean, we can get so deep into this, but that's how I feel about Trump. It's like, he don't like us. Like he don't care. He shows it. He says it. He don't wait for prime time. He goes on his little Twitter. He tells you how he feels and he goes about his business. Like he's not sitting up here trying to like soothe you and put a Band-Aid on any of this stuff. Like he don't care. And he knows there's an audience for it, obviously, right? It's people out here shooting at people and they're not getting in trouble for it.
What do y'all think about how long this should end? Should it be like we're never playing again, like a type of like a Colin Kaepernick situation? He's like, yo, until this gets better, like I'm always take a knee. So
go ahead.
Should it be like that, or should it be like, okay, let's just do a game or a season, a couple games? What?
To me, it's like these people in the street are protesting for specific things. They're organized. They know what laws, what legislations have to pass. Like they know what they're protesting for. So it's like Black people need to come together and get on an agenda. Like what do we want? And none of these parties have said anything about what they're specifically going to do for the people out in the street. They haven't said anything. I read Joe Biden's whole for the Black agenda. I don't know. It was like a whole website on there. And it ain't got nothing to do with what people are marching on the streets about. So I say until
are you going to vote? Are you going to write yourself in come November?
I'm waiting to see if they say something. If whoever has an agenda for Black people that goes in line with
what if they don't? What if they don't, Marisa? What are you going to do?
Well, then let the shit burn. Let the shit burn.
Write yourself in at least.
Let it burn.
You can't let it burn. Your kids live here.
No, live where?
In America.
That's fine. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn.
That's fine.
Let it burn.
Wait, I'm an international child, so I'm good. If we gotta leave, we gotta
can't
leave.
even go no. Oh, you got dual passport?
No, I don't have dual passport, but
because I looked at countries to leave to. They don't want us. They said stay.
I know there's like 5 countries that will let us come in right now because of COVID.
That's just because of COVID. I mean, once that's over.
When is that over?
Right, Pat. When can we leave?
Once that's over, I mean, what, they're gonna trap us in America with bad leadership? That'd be wild. That's the wildest thing.
Oh, we're slaves.
Yes. That's what's going on now. We trapped here, Pat. We can't leave.
We are trapped.
There's a couple places that accept Americans.
Mexico.
You can't even drink the water.
I'm a Mexican.
I am too.
Mexican. I will be Mexican. Let that be on the record. I will be.
I don't like Mexican food enough. I can't go there. I gotta go somewhere else, y'all. I gotta go there.
Oh my God. Viva la raza. Let's go.
I like Mexican food like that. All right, y'all. Let us know in the comments what you think as well.
Don't at me.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said don't at me.
At her. She said she's not afraid. At her. At Marisa. No, because you come for her, you come for me too. Okay, so let us know what you think in the comments. Was this the right step for the athletes, and when should they return to their sports? Put it in the comments. So let's talk about you, Pat, for a little bit. You are, I know you from Alldef, and like one of the running jokes at Alldef is that you don't be knowing nothing, but you know everything. You don't know nothing, but it's weird because the most basic stuff. Like the most common sense stuff, Pat don't ever know. But then it'll be like, oh my gosh, you guys are the same people. You're so right, Marisa. You and Pat are the Pat. Seriously, Marisa does the same thing to me all the time. I'll say something. She's like, "What does that phrase mean?" I'm like, "What? How you don't know that?"
It's called compartmentalized learning, okay? You only learn about the specific things that you care about, and all this other stuff is like, what is that? Why would I know that? That's why I don't mind asking. It's just like, okay, you guys would judge me for not knowing a Jacksonville, Florida phrase, and I'm like, I've never been over there.
No, you stop right there. It'll be a phrase that everyone else. It could be 6 people on Zoom. Everybody else knows what it means, but you, because you just be like, what? And we're like, how you don't know that? How you get through life this long and you don't know that phrase?
To not know these things. That's what I'm trying to make you guys understand.
I think I understand. I don't know.
It's okay. Well, we're gonna prove you wrong today, okay? Because today you're gonna know stuff. All right, at least we're hoping. So we're gonna test your knowledge, specifically like baby knowledge, because I just found it so chuckling and so hilarious when I was pregnant and you didn't know like certain things. What did you said something about like what's a placenta or like it was just some stuff. I'm like, Pat, you don't know what any of this is?
Well, I needed to re-up on what it was when you started talking about how some new mothers were throwing their placenta on the barbecue grill and passing out placenta steaks and placenta burgers and offering it up. Yo, you want some smooth? You said there were smoothies or something like that?
Yeah,
like,
I was going to do the smooth, like, you freeze them in little ice cubes and you put in your smoothie.
I was gonna do it, but I was lazy. I was like, I ain't gonna do all this.
Pat, really? You just gonna die on us like that, Pat?
I don't see any other example of that happening with us. There is nothing that comes off of me that I throw in a smoothie.
But okay, here's the thing though. The placenta is the one thing that the human body grows. It's an organ the human body grows like after you're human. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you're born with all your other organs. This is one that specifically your body makes for pregnancy only. And then when the baby comes out, it comes out with it. So it's like, and it's every other mammal eats their placenta. Why would we be any different?
You know what else the body makes? Boo-boo.
I was like,
other animals eat their boo-boo too.
Who eats their poop?
I'm not making boo-boo ice cubes and making a boo-boo smoothie.
Wait, animals eat their doo-doo?
Dogs? You ain't never seen a dog go to town on their own?
That's not normal though. Something's going on with the dog. Like they're hungry. That's something different. It's not normal. Yeah. Whatever. Well, anyway, we're going to test your knowledge.
Center pops.
Okay, Pat, we're going to test your knowledge because I want to see. These are some things that are probably, basic.
I'm going to know them. I'm going to know them.
Okay, I feel like I feel like you got it. All right, so here's just the first one. Pat, how many weeks is a full-term baby?
A full-term baby?
Don't Google.
How many weeks is a full-term baby?
I don't know.
I'm assuming is this a new job that the baby has? Is it like after his probation week?
His probation.
Are you talking about before he's?
Yes.
Is this a pregnancy thing or when he's already here?
Full term of pregnancy.
It's 9 months, right?
Yes. How many weeks?
Oh, well, that's just math. 36.
I mean, technically, you can have a baby at 36 and they're fine. 36 weeks, but
I did 9 times 4.
I know, but a lot of weeks have 5 weeks. I mean, a lot of months have 5 weeks. Sorry.
I don't even think I know this answer.
Huh?
I don't know this
What?
answer.
Your co-host don't know the answer? That's not fair.
Because look, Pat, you and Marisa are the same. Matter of fact, I should probably ask y'all both these
I'm
questions.
like this.
Yeah.
9 months?
Elimination.
It's 40 weeks, Pat.
Oh.
40 weeks is technically a full-term baby, but you can have a baby at like 36 weeks, as early as 30 weeks.
I pretty much said 40. I pretty much said 40. And 9 months.
No.
9 months is an estimate anyway, so 36 is pretty good. I think that deserves a pass.
Pat, learn these things, okay? When I say it's 40 weeks,
40 weeks.
technically. When they give you a due date, it's usually the 40 weeks.
Okay.
Of course, it's an estimation because babies come when they want. Okay, so let's see. We just said this, Pat. What is birthed after a baby comes out?
Placenta.
Hey, good for you.
It's not a bell.
Start to chefing.
Oh yeah. Pat, what is placenta?
Isn't it what the baby eats inside?
Is it what they eat?
I thought it was like their snack bar while they were in there.
Close. What is it, Marisa? What is a placenta?
It's what the baby lives in. It's what they grow in, right?
No, it's what helps them grow. It's
they grow it. They grow in it. They're in it. And then
Don't notice.
No, they grow in the sack.
Yeah, you don't eat
in the
the
placenta?
sack, Marisa.
No.
Wait, what is it? What does it do?
So placenta is what basically it's like what's connected to the umbilical cord. It's or all the nutrients flow through.
Snack bar. That's what I said.
And they're inside it, right?
They're inside the sack. But the placenta itself is like looks like a tree. I can't
It's
explain.
like when you have a hotel room and they got the little thing with M&Ms and waters and stuff like that.
That's what's going on.
Like it's inside the sack?
Yeah, like, okay, so when I had mine, it looked like it was inside the sack, but apparently when they were explaining it, it's like on the side where the baby. I don't understand. I didn't understand.
I don't know.
But it's like they're not inside it. It's like on the side of the sack. The baby's in the sack. Does that make sense? I mean,
Yeah.
they're not in the placenta.
I have a picture of mine.
Let me see your placenta.
No, I don't. I mean, I can't find it right now, but I'll send it to you.
Let me see your placenta.
I'll send it to you
I
after.
didn't think I was going to hear that today.
Why not? You don't want to see my placenta? I'm about to show you.
You have it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are y'all ready to see this?
No.
It's really, really gross. Here we go. All right. You ready for this? Open your eyes, Pat. Stop being a little plump.
This is what you
All right. Here it is, guys. There's my placenta.
Oh,
Look, Pat.
who's holding it? Is that Marlon?
No, that's the midwife or the nurse.
Oh, my God.
I was like, and she was like, you had such a good placenta. You have such a healthy.
What is a good... Oh, shit.
It's that. Look.
I think you can tell like how you ate, like if you were unhealthy.
Yeah, look at this. I'll show you the whole video for it.
Oh shit!
No, what the? Oh God! It looks like the steak emoji.
That's what it is. People eat it.
Oh,
People really be frying it up like a steak and just eating it. That was too much for me. But now that I think back on it, I probably should have eaten my placenta because it's supposed to help with like getting your hormones back normalized and all that. I needed help with that.
that's cannibalism.
It's so funny.
Is it cannibalism if it's yourself?
Yeah, that's self-cannibalism. That is autobiography cannibalism. I don't like it. That's oh God. All right.
Okay, Pat, another one. How long do women bleed after childbirth?
How long?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a day.
1 day.
A day?
1 day of
She has 2 kids and she's surprised by that. That is not the correct answer. I'm gonna say 4 to 6 hours.
Oh, if only 4 to 6 hours, Pat. I think everyone.
I feel like I bled for 2 months.
Consistently?
Mm-hmm.
Just like a
Yeah.
drippy faucet?
You're on your period.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Pat. Some women can bleed like up to 6 weeks, sometimes more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like.
And is it constant? Is it like
Constant.
for a long time?
It's like you're not gonna go jump in the swimming pool.
Like it's like your middle of your period, middle to end of your period in there for 4 to sometimes 8 weeks.
But I don't know what that's like. So it's just like if you're sitting here, like let's say I just gave birth like 2 days ago, right?
Oh.
And I'm just sitting here.
Oh,
Is it kind of like
You're gonna have to get up and change that hospital grade pad.
yeah, you have it like a diaper on right after because it's flow.
okay? So we've already shown a placenta on the show, so I don't think this will be gross. So you know like how do you describe this? You know how like when you like fart, which and you think it's a fart, and it's accidentally like a little squirt. Is it kind of like that? Is it kind of like a little bit like a slow kind of squirt?
Like no, it's just constantly dripping out. Just
Yeah.
and it's not like a whoosh for the first week or so, first couple of weeks. Like it's a lot. Like depending on women's bodies, it could be a
Well, what's a
lot.
lot? Like diarrhea? How diarrhea feels?
You probably have to change your pad every couple of hours.
Yeah. The first 2 weeks was a lot for me.
Yeah.
It was
And then
like,
after that, it starts to slow down a little bit, but it's still like you still have to wear some protection. You have to wear a pad for a while, which is, and it's not fun because when you first give birth, they give you these humongous
oh my God.
pads and these ugly mesh underwear that you have to just wear because you're just bleeding out still. It's not
It's pretty
fun.
insane.
I was about to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This has to happen. Jeez. You said 6 months?
6 weeks.
Like 2 months. We'll say like 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months or less.
2 months.
Just constantly bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
No days off.
No days off. That's why they said, usually after 6 weeks, that's when the mothers have to go in to the gynecologist to check them and make sure they're okay and clear them for like working out, sex, all that stuff. Because she got to check and make sure, are you still bleeding in there? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, the first kid, it was 8 weeks for me. I know that for a fact. It was 8 weeks.
It's not fun.
That's
Not fun.
All right, that just sucks. Like,
The things women have to go through. All right, Pat, what does a tear during birth mean?
oh, I do know this one. Okay, Jesus Christ, doesn't that?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm probably gonna describe it in a horrible way, but ain't that when the vagina is torn down to the butthole?
That is a severe tear.
Yeah, that's a lot. But that happens to a lot of people. That happens to most people that
That
I've
is,
talked to.
yeah, that's probably, so you're right. It is when the vagina does tear open because the baby's head was coming through.
What exactly
That
does that mean? It actually tears, like there's like a zipper scar all the way down to the butthole?
sometimes it is. If it's a natural tear, usually it's not straight. If it's a natural tear, usually it's kind of jagging and, you know. But if it's like an episiotomy where they don't really do this, don't cut the baby out. They'll cut straight, like I don't think they're supposed to cut right in the. They don't cut straight down. I think they're supposed to do like a Y cut or something, but not right down your butthole.
Skin. This is the actual skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the actual skin completely tears and has to be what? Stitched up?
Oh,
Yes.
back together, yeah.
Hmm. And if it's that bad of a tear, where they're like tearing all the way down the booty hole, basically, it's a 4th-degree tear. I think the most popular tear is like a 2nd degree. Yes. Oh yeah, that's a bad tear. But usually, like 2nd degree, I think is probably pretty.
Y'all got 2nd-degree black belt vagina tears. And then wait, what's a normal tear? Just like a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit, like a few stitches you'll need. That's why it's a 2nd degree. And then I think a 1 degree is like maybe a stitch. Like it's not that bad. And some women don't tear at all. And it really just matters. Like you're supposed to massage around the vagina. So one day when you have a baby, you can be the vagina massager to help open it up for that baby to squeeze through, Pat.
Can't be this fun. Kids can't be fun enough you guys willingly endure that. Like you guys are told that this will happen it will
No
be
one tells you
forever.
this
Wait,
stuff.
people tell you. People, you probably knew this, Megan,
Right,
before.
but they don't tell you like, oh, this is something that like I read in books, of course, like do the perineum massage to try to open up your vagina so that baby can come through. But like in the middle of you don't ever know what kind of birth you're gonna have until you're in the middle of it. So like in that moment, it wasn't no time to do all this. My baby was here.
But it's like we forget, because I said after the first one, it's like, oh, I will never do that again. Oh my God, that was awful. And then we forget.
Right. And then and I think also like people who have more than one child, you forget what it was like.
Yeah, you forget.
Because the whole first year, you don't even really remember. Yeah.
Forget? I would think you would wake up every night. Like, oh.
You will wake up,
like
but Pat,
like,
we don't sleep for a year at least.
Yeah.
You don't really
But
sleep.
you don't have flashbacks to the tear?
I didn't do all that. All that didn't happen to me. But the pain, I feel like we forget the pain almost.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't remember. Like, I know that it hurt, but I can't remember exactly what it felt like, I guess. But I knew it hurt. And in the moment, it was like, oh my God, why? I'm about to die. I'm about to die.
So how do y'all feel about those women who like, they're like, they don't know that they're pregnant? You ever heard those stories of like how
Oh,
they?
yeah. I had a family member. That was her. She didn't really know she was pregnant until she had her water broke and was like, I think that's my water. Because she only gained like 7 pounds and she wasn't, she didn't have regular periods. So I was like, well, that's rough.
Some people, they just come out. They're just like, and there's like no pain, no nothing. Just, is that like, are y'all jealous of that? Or is that something?
My second one was kind of like that. I wouldn't say it wasn't no pain, but it wasn't the pain I thought it was going to be because my medicine didn't kick in. And I didn't even know I was laboring. I thought I was just like having constipation. And so it was like,
I can't get this turd out.
Right, but I was like, oh, I was laboring. It still trips my mind out like, oh, I was laboring at home for 2 hours and had no clue. I really thought I had to go to the bathroom.
You were just like uncomfortable or what?
Yeah. I was just uncomfortable and thought I had to go to the bathroom. And it was like, wait a minute. Oh, I was laboring. I didn't know this. I thought it was going to be this big old like, but it wasn't like, that.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, it'd be crazy if like childbirth and pregnancy could go both ways. Like
guys.
What if you guys could get us pregnant and we could get you pregnant?
I would love to see a man pregnant. I would.
Wow, babies should come out of balls. I think that like
that's where they come from.
We would think about how much understanding we would have. I feel like the world would be a lot more chill if babies came out of balls.
Just pop out your balls and then your balls. Okay, because as much as y'all hurt when somebody kicks you in your balls,
right.
This is going to be a tearing of your balls, and you gotta.
I think we would be more responsible and less douchey if we had to endure that, because it's like I wouldn't. I mean, I would never risk that ever.
I'm all for that. Yes. Where do we sign up to get these ball babies?
No. God already happened. It's too late. It was just a hypothetical. But there wouldn't be a lot of futures for sure. I feel like there would be no dudes with like 20
futures.
They'd be like, I'm not having that many babies potentially coming out of my balls.
What if you and your significant other were pregnant at the same time?
Oh man.
The man and the woman.
That's crazy. They're holding each other's hands during childbirth.
Oh, that's funny.
Ooh.
All right, Pat, do babies eat with their mouth in the womb?
Oh, snap. No, ain't it through their belly button?
Technically, yes. They are eating some. I mean, they're practicing swallowing, but they're not really eating anything. They're just swallowing.
Eating their own hair and poop, right?
Yeah, there's no poop in there yet. There's pee. So they're technically drinking their own pee, yes.
I heard they grow, their first hair is they grow a mustache, and then it grows hair all over them, and then they start eating that hair.
Look at you. Actually, yes, that was one of my, I'm proud of you. You know about hair. It's called lanugo. It's like it's like a little peach fuzz all over them. But yeah, it's supposed to help with their skin while they're sitting in the water. But then when come out, usually the lanugo, if it's not already off, it falls off in a few days.
Gross.
It's not like you don't see it like come up. It's just very, I mean, it's small peach fuzz, but
Yeah,
it
like my
eventually
kids came out with like hair all like to their eyebrows almost. It's not there anymore, but I feel like they were like so hairy everywhere.
That's because y'all Mexican. That's why.
Yeah, but it falls off, you know? Like, well, not mine, but theirs. It's like hair here, hair here, hair on their ears.
Matt didn't have any of that. I wanted him to. I wanted to be a little hairy something. He didn't have nothing, girl. He didn't have no what is the vernix, the little white stuff on their skin.
Oh yeah.
He didn't have any of that. It was already gone. I was like, what happened?
I wouldn't have known about vernix. That should have been a test.
Oh, well, yes, asked you about that. What is vernix for?
It's the white stuff on their skin, obviously.
What is it for?
What's it for? Does it come out with it? They come out with it on it?
Yeah, have you seen some babies that are like really white? They got like white stuff on them. It looks like, I don't know, like grease, like lard or something.
Grease.
And you just take it off? You just wipe it off?
The doctor says don't wipe it off, right?
Well, you're not supposed. A lot of people do because they're like, "Ew, my baby's dirty," which is a lie. Like you're supposed to
wipe it off.
But what do you think it's for while they're in the womb, Pat?
Those are the melanin sacs, and they're supposed to absorb all of them in the womb. But white babies push them out. So like when you see a white baby, they have all that stuff, and they're like they rejected the melanin, and they're like, just wipe it off.
So the black babies don't have vernix?
No, because they ate it and absorbed all of it, and then they came out all brown and beautiful. You've seen Black is King. I think they covered it.
Wait, what song was that?
Oh, Pat, vernix
twice.
Right. Vernix is the coating that's on them while they're in the womb to kind of protect them because they're in water. So, think about it. When you're in the bathtub and you get out, you're all wrinkly, right? Well, when babies come out of the womb, they're not wrinkly like that, but they've been sitting in water, right? For like months. So the reason is because they've got the vernix covering them. It tends to like start to get thinner towards the end of the pregnancy because, they're about to come out.
So what's it do?
And they don't,
Some from the water?
Yeah, because they're sitting in water the whole time. So like for their skin, it kind of like keeps their skin nice and moisturized and protected. And when they come out, it has like an antibacterial agent to it. So that's why technically when you see the baby with all that stuff and you can like rub it on them, don't wipe it off. So you leave it on there.
And women just produce that?
Not women. I think it's like the baby. I think it's all the stuff that's going on in the sac. It's like a natural thing that happens in there only. But it's great. And I love that smell. Oh my God. It smells so.
The baby smell. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. So when a baby comes out, they're all like bloody and stuff. But you wipe the blood off, but leave that vernix on, rub that in.
I'm surprised white people haven't like stolen that and like made a whole moisturizer out of that.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, there's probably some scientist that's working on like a replication of a baby vat.
Oh my gosh, that would be. There's a baby in there hanging out.
No, you can, as a grown person, it replicates it, and you can like attach something to your belly button. That would probably be really good for you.
That would be so weird. But no, it's really. I mean, I love that, and that like they say that it's supposed to have that smell because it's supposed to help like the mother bond. With the child, but like the smell is so I don't know what it is, Pat. It smells so it's like it's no powder, it's nothing, it's just their natural scent when they come out of your womb, even like when they're bloody. It's a smell, it smells so good.
Oh, I'm about to have another baby. This is why people have
and like that's gotta be something I don't understand. That's gotta be like some instinctual thing. Because like,
I think it has I think it has something to do with that.
Smell thing with their babies too.
Yeah. Like you. But I'm saying it smelled so good that I didn't want them to wash Mav at all. I was like, do not wash him. Let it stay on his skin because I wanted the vernix to kind of like go through his skin or whatever, absorb because it's antibacterial. And technically, when babies come out, even through all that blood, that is the most sterile they will ever be in their entire life because the sac it's a sterile environment. So they're technically very clean, free of
Do you
germs until they come into this dirty
do
world.
you think if you were to walk over and walk over, do you think if you were to like go over and like smell somebody else's baby, it would smell good, or do you think it's only good because it was created by like that's like you said a bonding thing with your kid?
I think it's a universal thing because if someone
Yeah.
holds a newborn baby, like, ooh, the new baby smell.
They
They
smell so
always
good.
say that.
Oh,
I
really?
think it's a protection mechanism for babies as well, you know, because if people are like, oh my gosh, like that's how evolution has happened. I think it's just made them smell so good that everybody wants to hold them, everybody wants to protect them, which is, you know, part of survival.
Huh. Interesting. I've never heard the term new baby smell. That's crazy.
What?
Really?
You gotta have
Well,
a
yes. And when Marisa had her baby in February, I went to the hospital and I remember when I held her, I was like, oh my gosh, that was a smell. I sniffed her head so hard that a couple of hairs went on my nose. Sorry, Marisa.
it's
Your
amazing.
baby's hair went on my nose a little bit, but
Wait, in your
yeah,
nose?
because her daughter had a lot of hair when she was born. So when I was like smelling her head because it smelled so good, I was like inhaling, and then some of the hairs went in my nose, and I was like,
Out here doing lines of baby hair. I don't like it. Just,
you smell so good. New babies. Okay, so new baby smell. There you go. So Pat, this is an easy one. Which parent determines the sex of the baby and why?
I don't know this.
is
Marisa,
that a
you
play?
don't notice?
Is that a play on words and why?
No, just which parent determines the sex of the baby, and then tell me why.
Oh, because I know that. Wait, girls with XX and men are XY, right?
Uh huh.
So is it the man? The man who gives the Y chromosome?
Is that who determines the sex of the baby?
I don't even know if I'm talking about the right thing. I was
You
talking about.
actually are.
Wait. Well, yeah.
I thought
Marisa.
XY was male and XX was female.
It is. That's very good. But now, who? So what does that mean? Who determines the sex of the baby? Mom or dad?
Well, if females XX. XY.
So if you're
So it has to be
significant,
the male then, right?
yes, Pat.
Okay, that,
I know some stuff.
You did. It took you a minute to get there, but I'm proud of you. Yes, the man determines, and exactly why, because there's XY chromosome and XX for women. So women can only give an X chromosome, but the man can give either an X or a Y. And if
Got
he
it.
gives
Okay.
his Y, then that's a boy.
so the little sperms, basically.
Yes, the
Yeah.
little sperms are X's or Y's.
Sperms are Ys? Oh.
They're X's or Y's. So if he gives, if the X sperm makes it into the egg, then that's a girl. If the Y sperm makes it in, it's a boy. Make sense?
That's true. We're all winners. Everybody alive is a winner.
That's true. I like that. Okay, Pat, why do you have to burp a baby after they drink milk?
Mm, doesn't their breathing get clogged, like stuck? And you have to like hit their back so they're like, oh, I can breathe now.
I mean, not really, but I can see why you would arrive there. It's more so for the gas that builds up in their stomach because if you think about it, a baby has technically never eaten anything until they're born. Like they haven't had to digest, like, you know, they're just getting literally nutrients pumped into their blood through the umbilical cord. So when that umbilical cord's gone and they eat food, that is the first time that their intestines and everything is actually working. And so it takes a little bit of adjusting for their intestines to work. So they're very gassy, like all the time, and it hurts them. They be painful farts in there, stuck in there. So
Painful?
burp the
Farts
yeah,
hurt?
they'd be like
They fart and start crying?
or yeah, sometimes they do, or sometimes they can't get it out.
I'm not mature enough to take care of a baby that cries. When you just farted, there he is.
Oh, they cry
I've
about
laughed several
everything.
times.
What?
I have laughed while I was burping. Like, oh, you just gonna fart and then cry? Okay.
Megan, you're so smart. I would never be able to explain these things in this manner. Like,
Really?
no.
But you know all these. That's the important part, Marisa.
I
hope
know
you
it,
do.
but not the way you explain it.
Okay, well, this game is for you too then. Okay.
That's
Just
fine.
like,
You had the same expression as me with a
Like,
couple.
why do you need to burp babies? Because my mom told me to. So you need to do it after you feed them.
you just go with that. Okay, Pat, why are some babies' heads cone shaped after birth?
Oh, because you have to shape their head, right?
I know, but why was it a cone? 'Cause not
Um,
all babies'
from
heads are
what
cone.
I know, from what I know, their head is like a really like doughy, like it's very soft. So like depending on how good the doctor is who's delivering them, I always thought like the vagina shaped the head on the way out. So people with weird heads, like I don't know, like maybe the vagina clamped right here and made like you know how like pottery in Ghost you do that and it kind of goes up. That's how I thought it. I thought the vagina like shaped the head, and then when it's delivered, the doctor does like a little remix.
He's
So
doing some more pottery to fix the pottery.
yeah, I thought that there was like maybe like a minute time period that you had to sort of like shape the head.
So it's like Tetris. So in that minute, you can like do a Gumby real quick. You can make the little L
Well, I
shape,
mean,
like what?
I don't know why you would do all those, so I just assumed everybody went for dome, dome shaped. But I mean, now that I think that's the first time I ever explained it out loud, that sounds kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
No, actually, I mean, you were onto something there. It is the reason why some babies' heads are cone-like is because they were in the birth canal for a while, which squeezes their head. So in order to come out, of a smaller hole, it is easier for a more cone-like structure to push through, right? As opposed to just a circle. If it's conish, it can probably ease out a little bit easier. And then babies' heads are very, their skull hasn't fused, so it's easy to kind of, you mold them. But the doctor doesn't really mold them like that. It kind of just goes back into place on its own.
Oh, so when they come out, there's no touching of the head.
No, they just put the little hat on them, and and over time it goes back to its correct shape. So there's not, they
Oh,
don't.
it never stays. There's never been like a weird delivery that just had somebody with a weird shaped head.
Not typically. Not typically. The baby. I mean, the babies. There's some. You'll see some babies have like a flat back of their head, and but that's usually because the first few months of life, their parents laid them on their back a lot. So you're recommended to sleep them on their back, but sometimes parents just leave them on the back, let them lay there, play there on the back, and that extended amount of back time is what gives a flat head. So then you'll see kids with the helmet that's like got the top cut out
Uh,
and they have to wear that for a few months. They can take it off for like an hour a day, but other than that, they have to wear the helmet, and that helps
Jesus.
give their skull a circular shape again.
So wait, why do people have weird shaped heads then?
Usually, it's because they were on their back and their parents didn't get them the helmet.
No, I've seen some weird shapes that I feel like is more than the back. You ain't ever seen like somebody who got like a weird shaped head, like it's a lot of head in the front as opposed to the back, or just like
Like Tory Lanez?
or like the TI, or just like the ones that just kind of go up and like that has to be like from childbirth, right?
No, that's just their genetics. Some people have like a peanut head. Like I know especially little black boys that be having a little peanut back here. I call it the peanut. Yeah, the little hook. But that's a genetic thing. That's not from childbirth.
So is it everybody with a giant head put their mom through it? Like the
Probably, unless they were a C-section baby and they just got cut out.
Ooh.
Oh right, okay.
Those babies don't have any like conish, usually if they weren't, if it wasn't like an emergency C-section, but usually it's like, a scheduled C-section, then those babies weren't being pushed through the canal. Usually their head's perfect when they come out.
First baby, mine, because she was in there for so long, she had the whole cone thing going on. But the second one, she came out so fast, her head was perfect.
Yeah. Same with Mav. Mav, I pushed him in 15
Oh, right.
He
Exactly.
didn't have a cone.
He had nothing, yeah.
Shot him out.
Shout out to all the doctors over here shaping the babies' heads like Gumby.
Oh my God.
I had a great question. I totally forgot it. Dang it. Never mind.
Okay. Well, let me know when you... Pat, do newborn babies cry actual tears?
No, they do not.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because I don't see you asking me this question if they did.
Okay, so when do they start crying actual tears?
After they start eating foods with seasoning.
And why is that?
That's the salt, the sodium. They need sodium, and then the buildup of those good seasoned food after all that Gerber, you get nice tears, salty tears, and sweat. That's when sweat happens.
Oh, so they're
Sweat,
not sweating before then?
sweat and tears only happen after your first seasoned meal.
That actually makes sense, weirdly.
That's how I design
Do
it.
people still use Gerber? That's what I was concerned about.
Oh, of course.
I don't see any Gerber that looks like it's seasoned like that. Like, can you imagine mashed carrots with no pepper or no nothing? You
That's
know?
exactly what it is. That's what baby food is. It's disgusting.
Why they crying? That's why they got.
No, that's good. You should make
blank
that good.
cry.
Well, actually, it takes anywhere from 3 weeks to 5 months for some babies to cry tears, depending on because their tear ducts aren't like producing. They're not. I guess they're not big enough yet to produce actual tears. Their tear ducts really just produce enough moisture to keep their like eyeballs wet. So it takes a while for them to be able to produce more.
Season the food.
Your tear ducts are literally growing with you.
Yeah, they're not mature at birth.
So they're just crying, just the noise.
Yeah, it's no tears. They're just. And it's so funny. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until I like actually looked at this fact, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. All that crying and no tears ever for weeks.
How long till they pee?
Like they're peeing in the womb, Pat. Remember?
Oh, so
They
they're
don't poop yet. They don't poop in the womb yet because they haven't eaten any actual food, but they poop when they come out. Are you hoping?
It's like, isn't it something else, the poop? Because it's all tar-like and it's
Ooh, that's another
something.
question.
It's something.
Pat,
I don't know what it's called.
why is newborn's babies' first poop look like black sticky tar?
I think I heard this. Isn't that have to do with what they were eating in the womb? All the whatever they were getting from the umbilical cord. It was like, I feel like our poop is brown and green because we be eating steak and asparagus and stuff. But when you're just digesting,
Right.
mom, what is that? What is it called? You're just drinking mom.
You're drinking amniotic fluid.
whatever that stuff is. I guess that digests and comes out black. Right?
Yeah, that part. So, because they're not really using their mouth. They're not using their digestion system like we know of. They're getting food already ground up. They're just getting the nutrients basically put into their blood. So, when they first come out, the first thing that comes out is what little waste they do have in their body, and it's meconium. So it's black. It's sticky. Looks like tar. It doesn't have a smell though. It
doesn't smell
like anything
until they start.
Does it look like something that like people in the Renaissance would think a baby's like a demon before they understood it?
Yes. I'm sure they would look and be like, "What is this black stuff coming out of my child?"
A lot of babies thrown in the river before science, I'm sure.
Probably.
A lot of river babies.
Look at Marisa's face.
And then I just went to like "Black is King," the Nile song. Her walking, putting the baby in the water.
I told you, he probably took a big old black poop, and they were like, "Oh no, Christ he put him in a little wicker basket." Those were some nice little baby baskets too, and just that was rough to watch because
I was like tears.
There was a couple splashes where I was like, "Oh, he's dead already." We are following a dead basket baby.
Oh, that is so funny. Okay. Let's see. You're doing pretty good, Pat. I mean, I like your reasons for a few of these. Okay, so Pat, why does women's breast milk change colors?
What color does it change?
Reason you don't know this either?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say didn't know they changed colors, but of course I have a guess. I believe that there's a lot of complex stuff going on in a pregnant woman's body or a non-pregnant woman's body. So I believe it's like avocados. You ever cut an avocado open and then you turn around to get something and then you turn around and you're like, oh, it changed colors already. I think it's just like when the oxygen hits it, maybe,
It turns it colors.
something happens and it's one color on the inside, another color on the outside.
That actually is smart.
That is pretty, because oxygen.
All right.
It's not why. It usually has to do with like what you eat, and also has to do with like immunity. So, for example, if a woman drinks a lot of like green stuff, her breast milk can have a green tint to it. If she drinks a lot like beets or red stuff, then it could have a red tint to it. A lot of times it'll change from like white to like maybe yellow if the woman is sick or if your child is sick. Because
Megan, I didn't know this.
You didn't know any of this?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because you know that the breast milk is full of antibodies. So it's technically like if, like, let's say, for example, the baby's the baby's got a little cold and they're on the boob, drinking milk. Well, there's your breast can tell, I guess, basically whatever's on the baby's saliva if the baby is sick. So then it sends a message to your body like, hey, let's change the antibodies up a little bit because the baby is sick. And so then the milk may come out a lot more yellow because then it has like the healing properties for the baby. It's pretty amazing.
You need to write a book because I don't even know how.
It got options? I thought you said it had to do with what you ate. It can just change like a soda dispenser?
Yeah. Basically, when a baby, if a baby is sick, or like if you're sick as a mom, your breast milk will change. Mine did. I know I was sick like in January when Mav was 4 months old almost. And I remember seeing my breast milk as I was pumping. I was like, oh, why is it so yellow? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sick. So it's like my body was like adjusting for my sickness to be like, okay, let's immunize the baby with the breast milk.
That's
Pretty
still
cool.
okay, even though the person's sick?
Yeah, because it's got antibodies in it. So it's like basically, it's like you want this. This is the vaccine.
Like a Marvel movie.
Amazing. Breast milk is amazing. It heals so many stuff.
So, oh God, that's wild.
Does this make you want to have children? All in all? No? Does it change your perspective? No?
You don't want kids? You don't want to have a baby yourself? You don't want to give birth?
This, no, it didn't really change that. Nothing really changed. I think
I was thinking like, wait, is this episode gonna inspire Black men to go out and do right and have children and marry their queens and all this great stuff?
After the tear, I would think it would uninspire women. Like I wasn't thinking about, do I want to have kids? I'm thinking about like what women would want. Like the tear? The tear?
I'm telling you, the Lord blesses us with the forgetfulness for that first year. You don't sleep much, you don't remember much, and then you're just like, oh, yay. And then you don't remember how much birth sucks until you're about to give birth again.
I don't even know who I am.
That's why women can put up with everything that y'all put up with, because it's like y'all body be doing the tear. If y'all can get through the tear, there's not a lot we can tell you that would upset you. I feel like I feel like that's once it gets that detailed, then we really know like everything that goes into just little small parts like childbirth or the period. It's just like, oh, that's a lot. Y'all got to be built. Y'all literally have to be built differently to handle that. That's very interesting.
I hope you have a new appreciation for the ladies in your life, your mom.
I have a huge appreciation for the tear. The
tear. It is traumatizing. I feel like childbirth can be very traumatizing.
Oh yeah.
Y'all be like, all right, seconds, thirds, what's up? That's
them seconds and thirds be accidents. Except our last guest, she was like, I knew I was gonna have a bunch of kids. I was like, what?
You just know. Well, go hug your mom today, Pat. She did it 3 times.
Like, Mom, did you tear? Did you have a 4th degree tear?
Oh, I'm not gonna ask my mom about her vagina.
You should ask her.
Did it go to the butthole? I do have a big head, so I don't want to know. I don't want to know that.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
Oh my God! Well, that was fun. I didn't know what to expect from that.
Woo.
You sweating? My hands are sweaty.
We covered a lot. We covered a lot.
Oh, we did.
I hope you tell your friends. I hope you spread the good news.
I will spread the word of the tear. The tear will be spoken upon on soapboxes from here all the way to New York.
Yes.
I will spread the tear.
Oh yeah. What I was gonna say. What do you have coming up professionally and personally, Pat?
Check me out on Patrick Cloud. We just wrapped Battle Club, so I will be bringing that to my own YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. It's a new show. It's a debate show that mixes gaming. Follow Arcade Tokens, which is our gaming channel, and Damn Internet You Scary drops every Thursday. So we have one this week also. So check that out.
Yes, your podcast with to hear more, some more Alldef stuff. Okay, cool. Yes. And check you out on Alldef. Hello.
Alldef gaming, Alldef cannabis, all of that. Check us out.
I love you guys' Alldef woke page. What is that? It's not called Alldef woke, but it's like more political.
Nation.
Alldef Nation. Yeah,
I follow that page.
That's one of the verticals that specializes in like social justice and news and stuff like that. So also follow that too. It's great.
I like that page. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have one more segment, guys. It's called I'm Fine. It's our segment where we like to, let me explain it to you. So basically when you go ask a mom if she's fine, how's she doing, she usually just says, oh, I'm fine. And she's not. She's lying. She's dying. She's crying. She's probably going crazy inside. So this segment is just, we just like to leave you guys with inspiration. Megan, you have an I'm Fine today?
Yes, today. Here's a quote. People don't know what they don't know. Remember that before you hold it against them. And that's by Akirak Brost. I have that. I put that quote specifically for this episode because this episode was all about learning some stuff. And this is actually for me because I be holding against you, Marisa. I be holding against you, Pat, that y'all don't be knowing stuff. But then I have to remember, like, hey.
I don't know that.
People just don't know stuff. And that's okay because I don't know everything. You know?
You know a lot of things.
I don't know everything.
Things I don't know.
So that's what I say. People don't know what they don't know. So I have to remember that instead of being like, you don't know that?
Oh, yeah. All right, that makes sense.
I'm going to still do that to both of y'all. All right.
I was about to say, this better carry over into Alldef stuff.
Nope. Nope. I'm going to say the same thing next week. All right, y'all. It's been so great taking a break with you right here on Mommy Needs a Break. Make sure you check us out again next week. We have more Mommy and Daddy guests coming up. Very fun stuff. Make sure you follow our guest, Patrick Cloud. Follow it at Patrick Cloud everywhere, right?
Yes. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you so much for coming. You were such a good sport.
Participating. Right.
And you actually did better than I thought you would, Pat.
Yeah, your quote was supposed to hit. I know you picked that quote because it was supposed to hit differently because you thought I was going to get everything wrong.
I know, right? Like, dang. You actually
I specifically thought it was for, like, white people. That's where I took it, but then I was like, oh, you're talking about us.
People don't know what they do.
You're too woke, Marisa.
Like, okay. Unless you got the internet or...
All right, y'all. I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop everywhere. Make sure you check out our Patreon page. The links are always below in the description. Check it out. Follow us. We're going to have some really cool stuff coming up on Patreon, so go ahead and join.
Yes. And I'm Marisa. Follow me at She Is Marisa J. And make sure to follow our podcast at MNAB Podcast and check out our website at www. Why do I say www? Everybody knows it's www. MNABpodcast.com. Check us out. Buy some stuff. Support us. We love you guys.
We'll see you next